guys, welcome back to another episode of China Not Just Travel. Today I'm in the beautiful Anhui and I'm going to take you throughout Qiyun Shan, which is a place really close to the famous Hongcun, otherwise known as Yellow Mountain, which is really well known all around the world. But Qiyun Shan is kind of like a more local secret, and we're going to take you to some exclusive destinations and scenic spots so you can really enjoy all the beautiful different scenic places in China. Qiyun Shan is one of the 4 famous Taoist mountains in China, which can be traced back to the Tang and Ming dynasties. It's a spectacular mountain with tons of history, grottos, caves, temples, and landforms. Before we take you up there, we're going to explore the surrounding areas, so let's go explore the surrounding villages, towns, cultural delicacies, and natural scenery that make this region so special and unique. This area is obviously really naturist and beautiful, but I'm totally struck by all the different landscapes that you can see in China. So right in front of me is this gorgeous, clear, pristine lake. And right around there are also tree houses that people can check into and actually stay. So it's a very immersive, very naturist experience that you can have in this mountain, you know? You can choose a hotel, but you can also choose a tree house and be totally submerged in nature and your natural surroundings and wake up in the mountains. I don't know if you can see, but up there's actually a tree house. So it literally is in the trees. Wow. So this is the biggest tree house in this area that you can stay in. It has a 360 view just revolving around the entire home. Wow! Wow. It's a UFO themed spaceship. Wow! Right now I'm by the hotel that I'm staying at, and around here there's lots of restaurants, but there's also amazing things like puppet shows, little boutiques, little shops, and all different kinds of places that you can eat and experience local Anhui culture. These are some specialty local dishes. So you get a taste of what local people eat in this area. Okay guys, so right now I'm about to watch a show. They have a special show with some really exciting cultural highlights and moments that we get to watch, and I don't really know what to expect, but it's beautifully lit and there's so many people out here, and we're gonna see what they're gonna perform for us. But I love a show. These are some of the performers, and they're holding the iconic fish lanterns. They look so beautiful. This is the ancient art of Hua, which means iron flour forging, a 1,000-year-old art form usually practiced in rural regions. It involves literally hitting liquid molten iron into the air, forming these beautiful sparks that drive away enemies or evil spirits. It has now become popular all over China and is a craft that honors the ancient blacksmiths throughout Chinese history. Okay, that was amazing. And now I get to see the night views of this place. It's just so scenic and beautiful. So unique. Okay, that's the end of day 1. It's already been so eventful and exciting, and I'm just so happy that I get to explore more of this area the next few days. So I'm gonna go to sleep. We're gonna go to a village, which obviously you know is one of my favorite things, but we're gonna see an Anhui village, which is very different to the other villages that I've been to. See you tomorrow! Wow. Good morning, guys. It is day 2 and I'm still in the Anhui region, but today we went a little bit further from where we were last night. We're at Tachuan right now, which is next to some surrounding villages. This is also by the mountains and you get to see some beautiful autumn landscapes, and it's very popular because they are absolutely legendary villages as well. So let's go. Wow, look at this beautiful landscape behind me. It is just absolutely stunning, and it is the most picturesque autumn day I could ever imagine. So this is really not that far away from Shanghai. You only really need to travel about 2.5 hours on the high-speed rail, and you get to see this kind of natural, beautiful surroundings. Tachuan used to rely on its autumn sceneries for most of its economic development, with tourists coming far and wide to see the vibrant autumn leaves. We came a little bit after peak season. Now, because of new initiatives in leisure agriculture, cultural creative industries, and homestays, the village's collective economic income has drastically increased, transforming from an autumn scenery economy to an all-season economy. So things like these tufts on the roofs, I find very attractive and very beautiful, and obviously very familiar when it comes to Chinese culture. After doing some research, I found out that the roofs are meant to be shaped like horse heads, which are symbols dedicated to merchants from this region who traveled far from home for business. The roofs symbolize the return of the family head, so that they can have a safe journey and find their way home.
这是什么茶树吗？
对，这就是茶树。
So even though the leaves are gone and it's bare, you can still see the persimmons. And all these houses down there where the farmers live. So you can see the farmers plowing the tea leaves down there. And then this is a spectacular view. Okay, so right now I'm on the peak of the Tachuan village area, and you can see the village right behind me. So this is a beautiful big village full of those wonderful buildings that I was telling you about. And I just found out that actually the farmers do live in that village, but a lot of them have become homestays or inns or hotels that are run by the farmers' grandchildren. A lot of the grandchildren go out to the big cities to get their educations or to get jobs, and so they also get an additional income that they give to their grandparents by renting out rooms in these houses because they're no longer living there at the moment. So I think that's a pretty brilliant idea, but now most of those buildings down there are homes to both the farmers and also homestays for people to stay in, and they get to stay right in the heart of this beautiful, incredible village. So right now we're in the heart of Hongcun, which is one of the famous villages in this region. This is the one that many locals go to, as well as tourists, because it is so famous. And behind me is the beautiful ginkgo tree, which is very old. And now I'm about to go eat a meal that is cooked by farmers. So the produce is really fresh, and Anhui Tai has its own specialties. So I'm really excited to try some. Let's go! Hongcun is famous for many reasons. It is a village with over 900 years of history and is now a UNESCO site on the World Cultural Heritage List. Hongcun was originally home to the Wang clan, with many members being merchants, traders, and businessmen. It was also home to farmers and craftsmen who were the backbone of Hongcun society, who preserved the folk customs and clan rituals. The village has a very unique bowl-shaped layout and has over 140 well-preserved Ming and Qing dynasty dwellings built in traditional Huizhou style, with an ingenious water system designed by Hu Chong, the wife of the village's clan leader at the time. Fun fact, Hongcun is where the famous movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was filmed. Pumpkin rings being dried. So I really don't know how to eat this one, but it's pretty beautiful. Okay, we finally found the restaurant that we're gonna eat at, and it really just looks like someone's house. someone's home converted into a hotel. It's a beautiful restaurant.
You can see the interiors of these old houses. This room behind me is where music would be played and performed for the guests at dinner. So there'd be a guest hall dining table, and then next to it would be musicians inside who are playing music. And you can see the carvings are very intricate. It's actually quite a small room. And so a couple of musicians would just be in here, and then you could hear music coming out from these doors, but you couldn't actually see the musicians themselves. Freshly cooked vegetables from the farm. Next, we went to see the inside of an old Hongcun house. It was fascinating to hear how people lived during feudal times, and this was the home of a landlord, his wife, and his concubine. The room of the second wife. And then let's move over. This is the room of the first wife. It's clearly a little bit different. And then these are dining tables that are separate because the two wives eat separately. But then when the husband comes back, they join the table together and eat together as a trio. That was our beautiful day at Hongcun. There's actually so many tourists still coming in because it gets really beautiful at night. But we're going to leave for now, and I just think it's a really important glimpse into the past of what China used to be. But it's also really important to remember where China is now and how we got here as well. So it's really interesting that this history is preserved, and that obviously so many people come and they want to learn about it. You know, they bring their families, they come in huge groups, and they try to learn about all the different types of history. But I think learning about that history makes it even more important to understand how we got to where we were today, and that certain things obviously needed to be changed, but we still preserve the culture and we still preserve the history so that we have our sense of identity, we know where we come from, we can also continue to tell these stories for the rest of time. And I think that's really beautiful in terms of building a cultural identity, but also making sure that society as a whole constantly shifts as things change, especially, for example, the position of women in society, which we got to see. I mean, I myself was pretty struck by the way that women used to live with men. And so these things obviously needed to change, and I'm grateful that they were able to, but I'm also grateful that we can still understand the history that led us here today. So right now we're going to experience something very special. We're going to have a TCM treatment. So you can choose between moxibustion or acupuncture, but today I'm going to go see a doctor and see what they say. This is a really, really interesting and special thing to do when you're in Anhui, because they are famous for their traditional Chinese medicine. The different technologies and the different ancient medicines that are available here are really effective. So let's go.
祁门县，祁门呢不仅红茶出名，然后有一个村叫立溪村，叫中国的御医之乡，出了有10多位御医，所以那个村庄哈，它那个环境很好，中药材也很好嘛。有一句话怎么说？叫药材好，药材好。所以这边很多人像古代他们采茶。颈椎病、腰椎间盘就比较多，他们不去大医院做手术的，然后就找这些老中医去看病，然后效果很好。我们这边徽州文化内容多，像徽菜、徽州新安医学、雕刻、木雕、文房四宝，都很出名的，所以徽州是一个人文荟萃的好地方。
This is a room where they do cupping, but it's electronic cupping. They use that machine over there as a suction device, and it cups your pressure points.
蒸上来的效果。
对，有上，但是它是主要是通过红外线发热，然后促进你身体体内的那一个代谢。它里面的那个面板会产生红外线，然后旁边有制氧机，也不会有那种闷的感觉。就会舒适感会好一些。
Okay, so right now I'm with Dr. Wang, who is going to introduce this technology. It's called Guangzhou, which is acupuncture but with the light. So I'm going to ask her some questions and find out more about it.
它可以生成它的光能达到那个皮下7到10个厘米，它可以促进炎症的一个吸收，然后对疼痛，然后它可以促进那个代谢，然后增加自体的一个免疫，加重那个炎症的那个消散。像对妇科像痛经的，然后还有一些像肩颈疼痛呀、关节痛，还有就是痛风的发作期，然后来照这个光也非常的友好。看吗？还好吧？舒服。正好就照到这个包里看。对，就可以消除掉的。
Guys, I feel alive. I feel like the color has returned to my face. Like I feel like blood is flowing through my body. I'm extremely impressed by this experience. Yeah, I haven't experienced it at this technology until today, and it is really effective, and I just feel so much better. There's heat coming from me, the blood has rushed to my face. I feel way more alive and energized and awake. Next, I tried fish lantern making. Fish lanterns can be seen all over Anhui and is an iconic time-honored folk craft that uses bamboo and rice or cotton paper. They symbolize Yu, which means abundance, and serve as a symbol of good luck and prosperity, especially during Chinese New Year, with parades of fish lanterns blessing every single village. Okay, so right now we're going to make the famous Anhui fish lanterns, and she's going to teach me how to make them by hand.
安徽这里很多，我们这里本身就是非遗文化嘛，我们主要是徽州的多。以前就是我们这个鱼是徽州我们以前是走水路的，水路我们所以这河里的鱼是多了，这以后就是把这个鱼灯就慢慢的这样子。
对对。So these are by her teacher who taught her how to do the craft, and these are extremely intricate. 剪得很厉害. Okay, it's gotten significantly colder at night because we're in the mountains, right? And so I'm just taking a little night stroll around this area, and you can see all the lights lit up of the villages nearby, the little towns, and they just line the river, which is really, really beautiful. Good morning, guys. It is a new day and I'm still in Qiyun Shan. I get to experience another day with this beautiful view behind me. I actually can't believe how stunning it is. And I'm starting off my morning. I'm really excited for this. I'm starting off my morning by doing Tai Chi with a Tai Chi master. And we're doing it, as you can tell, by the beautiful river. And I get to experience for myself what it feels like to move energy and have fun with this very legendary and ancient art of moving energy and exercise. So I'm really, really excited for this. Let's go meet the teacher. Hi everyone, so this is the amazing teacher that I just learned with, Zhao Quanhui. Hello. And I'm going to ask him some questions about his Tai Chi practice and how long he started to learn about it. He's very, very impressive. So let's get into some questions. Okay.
我是从小就是体弱多病，后来接触了一个武术老师，我就开始学武术，后来身体练好了以后呢，后来呢就开始练太极，先学武术后练太极，对，每天晚上和早上，早晚2次。
如果我们每天做太极的话，对身体很好吗？
对，你看我这个年龄，我已经75岁了。
哈？
我75岁了。现在来讲，别人还看不出。
对，我以为你60岁而已。
都讲我60多岁。
对。
这就是从小体弱多病，通过练太极得到了健康。我说现在来讲的话呢，有这么一个好的身体，我感到非常快乐。我感到这是上帝赐给我的一种这个财富，所以说我想在有生之年呢，把身体练好，把张三丰的这个养生大道、养生太极弘扬出去，让更多的人都能得到健康，这就是我的心愿。
Then it was finally time to climb Qiyun Mountain. Okay, so now we're embarking on the hike up Qiyun Mountain, the phenomenon that we've been waiting for, and I'm with my really good friend Jodie from Code Pink.
Hey, peace everybody! China's amazing, and what's cool is like every corner has something to teach you. And what I'm really appreciating about here is how small it is and that you get into the history of the civilization, of what it was to be a villager. You know, when you go to these places that are historic, you're mostly in the big cities, but here I got a whole nother story about landowners and peasants and women. I felt, and schools and education, and I felt taken into a story that wasn't accessible to me before. Wow.
黄帝内经看呐，胃病要先防嘛，饮食要安全健康，癌症怎么3个都是吃出来的。好，那第一个就是运动啊。
对，
要
你也有自己会运动。
人的生命在运动，每日一动，远离疼痛。痛则是不通，通则不痛。
哇，说得很好。
中医学的阴阳平衡，金木水火土，寒热暑至燥火，五味对五脏，哇，这个相生相克。
Okay, we're near the end. The end is in sight. Wow, this is the view from the peak. Qiyun Mountain was discovered by Taoists during the Tang Dynasty, and Taoism was brought over by a Taoist priest, Gong Qixia, who traveled here and chose to live here in seclusion. As Taoism continued to prosper in the mountains, the number of carvings surged, and scholars would come and inscribe poems on the cliffs and steels, which praised the natural scenery of the mountain. Temples, halls, and pavilions were also built in accordance with Taoist principles, integrated with the Danxia landform of Qiyun Mountain, and formed a complete Taoist architectural system. Now, with the support of the government and the Taoist Association, many Taoist buildings have been gradually restored and preserved. So this is the first temple on this mountain, and it's pretty incredible to see. But it really is just built on the cliffside. So it's said that if you touch the bottom of this character, you will live a long, long life. So this is a cave with all the different immortal gods that you pray to. And then this is actually the area where you can do Tai Chi in the morning. So I woke up a little bit late, so I was only able to do it at the bottom of the mountain, but actually you can do Tai Chi right here. The side of the mountains, you can see all the different gods and the statues.
So we've reached another peak. We just keep going up, and there's villages here. So people have been living on the mountains for a while.
Perched on the top of Qiyun Mountain is Yuehua Sky Street, otherwise known as the first Taoist village in China. The village only has 28 households, around 150 residents, whom are descendants of Taoists. They believe with the layout of this village, it absorbs the essence of the sun and the moon. We even met a retired PLA veteran who runs a noodle shop on this street, also handing out free cups of tea to people and even offering a free room for fellow servicemen and veterans.
Okay, so we have some hanging chilies and corn. And then behind that, you can see a golden pagoda. So I'm on a cable car on the way down, and the view is absolutely incredible. You can see the autumn landscape, all the orange and the red and the yellow dotting the scenery. Have a look at that. And you can see the village and the hotels that we came from. It's a lot more efficient than going up.
And just like that, I'm at the bottom of the mountain again. Very, very quickly, I was greeted by an amazing performance. And I just want to say I'm absolutely so impressed by the time that I had on Qiyun Mountain. Like I said, most foreigners know about Yellow Mountain, but they may not know about Qiyun Mountain. And I think what's really beautiful is that the Taoist religious relics are still preserved and that you can access them and understand them. So my general reflection of Qiyun Shan so far is that I was able to go to so many historical places that used to be so socially different, right? There were way more landlords back then. There was way more feudalism and imbalance of power and structure and money. Now, actually, these places are open to the public, not expensive, and people could go visit them and learn about that essential history while also contemplating on how society has changed. So I am really, really impressed, and I really love being able to see this and how Chinese people are so dedicated to preserving our history and understanding our culture. I'm really excited to share that we're starting this program in honor of actually planning trips and curating trips for ourselves. So these trips are just like this one. They're going to have a lot of exclusive access, a lot of activities that give you a deeper insight into what China is really like. Yes, we'll go to some of the most famous destinations, but we'll also be able to meet everyday people and participate in everyday activities. So if you're interested in traveling with us, please go to our website, ChinaNotJustTravel.com, and check out some of the trips that we've planned so far, and feel free to make some suggestions because we're still planning many, many more, and we'd love to invite our community from all over the world to come to China to understand and see it for yourself. So please come, and thank you so much for watching this episode of China Not Just Travel. Just want to show you what I'm seeing right now just to end off. It's a beautiful, beautiful, crisp autumn day, and you can see families everywhere by the mountain having picnics, setting up tents, and enjoying the view of the river. So that's the note that I'm going to sign off on. Thank you so much again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know where else you'd like us to go.